Thank you. No, but I care more about your opinion, Adam. So.
Very important. I could use it a little bit louder in my headset, but this is a new headset.
Yeah, but that's not something I can control. I can't control how loud you are in your own headset.
That's a great point.
Is this sound guy? Hey, Mike, can you turn me up in my headphones?
Here we go. We're live. Now we're on. Now we're on screen. What do you know about that?
Everybody, come on, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Meltdown Island. Meltdown Island.
God, your mic is really. It does sound super tinny. I think you might want to switch to your other mic.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
It is a little rough.
I mean, you could fuck with the settings first, or mess with the settings.
Don't get sad though.
No.
He's changing it right now.
Oh, okay. There we go.
There we go, he says.
Yeah, because I just like to see action. I like to see it happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hungry for action. There we go. Oh no, he can't talk when his
Hello?
his headset's on.
Hear me now.
Wow,
Hello?
this is even worse somehow. You sound like Alexander Graham Bell on the very first telephone now.
You sound like you're calling from the moon.
Hello, Watson?
Hello?
I need you immediately.
Mayday, Mayday, this is the Moonbee calling you. What's that?
Okay, that's a little
That's better.
better.
It's a little gainy.
Yeah, it's a little
Gainy,
gainy,
sir.
exactly. Thank you.
A
I'm
little
like
bassy.
a little fish now. Oh, now it's
Just
too
like
bassy.
Count Basie. One more
It's a
time.
little both. Yeah.
Let's
Thank
hear
you.
you again,
I mean-
Dustin. Say something good.
Usually stand right about here from the microphone. I get a little bit of space between me, but it's,
Now
it's,
now your highs are flat. What happened?
Well, I tried out a new headset today.
Well, I don't think it's the headsets. I mean, your mix is off again. Like, what are you doing? Are you over mixing this thing or what?
I'm just going in straight into the mixing board.
Well, you have a mixing board. You don't have any EQs set with anything weird, because your
Nope.
highs are definitely flat right now.
Well, the other that's probably that's how they always are. Like I've been having a little bit of issue. I don't know if you guys really.
Hi,
up
Rollo.
with it?
Nice to see
Hey,
you, Rollo. Welcome to the
But I've
show.
been saying, for the last 2 or 3 months that I'm having trouble hearing myself on the show.
Okay.
Remember last week when Rollo was like, I can't hear Dustin, and everybody's like, oh, let's keep going, though.
No, you're right. We should have just stopped the show
Well,
completely.
no one's saying
Yeah.
that. No one go to all extremes. Darling, I don't know why I go to extremes, Billy Joel. But I would say that I've had an issue, and I saw a text that Mr. Adam James, you posted there about, I don't know, 6 months ago from a young lady saying, hey, if anybody's doing any podcasts using Skype, I can help you with the sound.
Oh. Yeah.
And then I
Okay.
contacted her last month saying, hey, I just saw this. Or maybe I saw it months ago, but irregardlessly, here I am now. And,
Irregardlessly.
and I'm asking if you can help me. And, I think she thinks that I'm lying or a creeper, or I don't know what she thinks. I don't know why I'm putting thoughts in her mouth or head. But ultimately, my sound sucks.
Well, it's not the worst. It's not.
Isn't it?
It's not absolutely the worst. Not
It's not
exactly.
been great. There was one week where it was like the predominant one. I was like, hey, maybe I should come down. And that was the last time ever I would ever suggest that.
Well, how do Adam and I sound?
You
let's
guys always
have,
sound amazing.
Why don't we have Rollo judge how well everyone
Yeah,
sounds?
he's got some good ears.
He does.
Ooh.
You know who has great ears is Rollo.
Yeah?
Really good ears.
Jill has very special ears. Jill's got, ooh, look at me and my special ears.
Is
Oh,
that
my
why
name's
you
Jill.
talking at night is a bad thing in the house then?
Their ears are too sensitive.
I
They're
just,
too
it's one of my great
sensitive.
impressions. It's one of my good impressions. She's got special ears.
Is that your Jill impression?
Did she have like musical theater training?
Nope. She was raised by what is it? A Catholic school mom, teacher?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I met her mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know her mom.
Yeah.
So she has. What do you call it when you have misophonia? It's misophonia. She has misophonia.
Misophonia. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Where
Oh,
like sounds of
misophonia.
people chewing or sounds of people
Right.
doing stuff like that freaks you out,
Constant
right?
jokes. People who do constant jokes. or
Yeah,
joke
people that get excited about fun things.
everything. Well,
Yep.
like
People that talk
yesterday.
at night.
Yesterday, I had one of my wild animals of a cat brought in a butterfly caught out from the yard. And first of all, I would never let the cat go out in the yard. So this was a non-Dustin consequence.
Non-Dustin consequence.
And so I said, first of all, I heard the cat. I heard it go. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? I look down, and she's on her back, her head, and I'm like, what? And I see butterfly wing, and I go, whoa, oh God!
Wait, what? Hold on a
I-
second. So wait a second. You heard the cat, and then you saw a butterfly, and that freaked you out?
Okay, when you say it like that, it sort of negates
I
some
was
of my
just trying to
emotion.
figure it out. I'm not trying
That
to
is-
judge you for it.
That is what I'm saying, yes.
Okay.
Because I had on cleaning gloves and had gooky stuff all over me, and I didn't want to. I want to take the gloves off and then get this butterfly. Plus, then when you go to say I've got to get the butterfly and get it outside, all I can imagine is no wings part of the butterfly, like the. And I was
Okay.
like, oh, what is about to happen on top of going? There's a tragedy amongst us. I got to help.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, Jill comes down and says, "What are you screaming about?" And I go, "There's murders happening." And she's a lover of murderers, so I would think she'd be in a good mood, but she's a little
Okay.
upset about my reaction thereof.
Yeah.
And
Well, can I ask you a question real quick that goes right into the story? How many times a day does Jill come down and say, "What the hell are you screaming about?"
it's gotten much rarer than it used to be.
She's trained you well. So.
Yes, I've been working on personal growth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does she give you a treat every
Good.
time you quiet down?
You would think,
Alex
Alex.
does that to me.
That's called positive reinforcement.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm lacking sometimes on my end of.
Totally, I get that.
So Rollo says that your microphone has had it.
It's had it.
That's what he said.
I don't understand what has had it means.
I think that means that microphone is just not good anymore, like it's
Like
broken.
it's on its way out.
Yeah.
Like I've sang too hard into the microphone and I've broken it with my vocal agilities.
Yeah.
Needless to say, here's the end of that story. She walks down, she grabs the butterfly, puts it outside, and then I apologize for the next 30 minutes for overreacting.
How many-
I added some.
How many
I
minutes
added some
per
pics
week
to
do
the
you?
chat.
What'd you say,
Sorry.
Adam?
I said I added some pics to the chat. If you want to put Destin's face on them, or
Oh, Destin's face on them. Oh, good.
because when you start to tell a story about a butterfly and a cat, that just sounds like the cutest thing ever.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
There's like got to be hundreds of inspirational posters
Yeah.
using that exact concept.
Just
what
hang
I'm
in
surprised
there,
about
cutie pie.
is that the cat did not kill the butterfly. That after Joe released it, she said it just floated right on up to the garage, and an eagle comes swooping in and grabbed it.
Eagles don't eat butterflies.
Well, that was a joke. That was a JK, you guys.
I think it's more likely to eat your cat.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I, needless to say, what I've noticed is now that I've had chances to calm down, let's say, out
Oh, okay.
of a
Let's say that.
PTSD.
Yeah.
There's moments where I'm calm, where I don't feel stress, where I'm sitting there and genuinely enjoying watching a television show, let's say, and
Yeah.
relaxed.
Let's say that.
Now I'm able to see that there are things that are causing stress, and then those stresses start stacking upon one another.
Compounds.
The compound
Sure.
interest, right?
Yeah, for
Thanks,
sure.
Adam. Compounds into when you see a simple butterfly thinking that you're actually bleeding out. It's a very weird and unusual emotional thing.
Very
I don't-
common.
Common?
Such a
What I'm saying is, I'm noticing that it's uncommon that that's what I jump to. Like when
Yeah, it's very yeah.
We was tearing down the ceilings a couple weeks ago. I was telling you about, and got my leg all scratched up. The very first piece of ceiling that came down went straight down the floor, and I go, "Oh, there is clearly a crater now that has been chopped into the wooden floor from the cement ceiling, because that's just cement. They call it plaster of Paris. No, it's cement. Okay? But all of a sudden, that big old kunch, there was no scratch, there was no chunk. But in my mind, oh, I got to fix it. Everybody out of the house. Ah! And so I'm seeing that my mind over-exaggerates things. Remember when I thought the president told the new vice president to eat his penis? Remember that? That might have been, I might have exaggerated that, Mike. And I've erased all that from Facebook since our last discussion.
Okay.
So you know what I mean? It's like I hear, I'm going to teach her something about my red meat, and I think penis, that he going to be mean to her in his penis way, when really it was just stupid.
Well, it seems like the issue that you're talking about is your ability to control your reaction, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's it. That could be it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
That's one of the only
'cause, like,
things we can control,
it's
right?
okay to make the penis connection. I think it's more the making it like a big deal, like making it a spectacle on the internet. You know.
I didn't make it. All I said for me, it was the fact
Right. That wasn't your intention. That wasn't your
No.
intention, obviously. No.
I was just pointing out that, hey, I think this is gross, and I don't think
But
this is the way our politics should be.
Right.
Well, you weren't the only
manhandled.
one that
Is
thought
that the right
that,
word?
too.
Manhandled?
Right. Or something like locker room. It
Yeah,
seems like
locker
something
room.
that like it's like the ceiling tile thing or the butterfly thing. It's like you see something, you have this reaction because your brain automatically goes to tension mode, but then it's like hard for you to not express that reaction because you're such an expressive person.
Congratulations, Adam. You just got quote of the day, and that is, it's okay to make the penis connection.
Someday we'll find it. The
That
penis connection.
The
That's good.
Republicans and me.
La 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 la.
Did you hear my TikTok?
Yeah.
I forgot I sent that over.
I did, yeah.
Aw,
You
thanks,
didn't
pal.
forget that you sent that over. You
I
sent
did.
you sent a lot of things over.
That was like an hour ago, bro. I've taken a shower. I've shaved. I've watched other TikToks since then.
Your brain is a
everyone-
TikTok. You only have
all the
like a
viewers at
TikTok
home.
memory.
We have pre-show homework where we have to read at least 3 paragraphs from Dustin.
Yep.
And then at least 3 TikToks.
Yep.
Well, we don't have that grouping time, that time where we get together
Yeah.
and plan things out. And dare I say, some of our best reactions and/or quotes of the day would have been lost had we done the pre-show. I've always said, let's just go. Let's just go.
You're like,
Let's
I
just
need
go.
15 minutes to talk about cats and butterflies.
Yep.
5 minutes to talk about ceiling tiles.
And that's it. And then we get into the hard
Red
stuff,
meat.
like police
Like red
murders.
meat.
All right.
And red meat.
Let's get into some Metro Times comments. What do you guys think?
Hell yeah.
I'm down
Love
with that.
So
I've,
one of the things I've been thinking about a lot lately is that you see all these racists and all these idiots commenting on like things like the Metro Times articles, right? So like
Right.
one of the things is like, what do you do with all that? I mean,
Good
you
point.
know, I used to completely ignore it because it's like there's no fixing these people. They're lost causes. But then I kind of started to think that, you know, if you're not sticking up for the right side of things, if you're not sticking up for other people and compassion and empathy, and then other people are just bullying things over with their idiotic comments, other people are going to think that they're more alone than they actually are. So I think it is important to say something, even if you're just commenting something simple.
That's something
And
I
then
was
just
trying
let
to
their
do.
stuff roll off your back. What'd you say, Dustin?
I was trying to do that over the last month, and I have completely stopped all of that because of the what do you call it? Discontent of Facebook.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so, you know, the thing is, though, is that how do you not let these people get to you as well, right? I mean, personally, I think there's a couple things at play, and one of them is kind of borderline mental illness, really. It's a refusal to digest facts or think logically, or when presented with information that really clearly says that you are completely incorrect and against science, that a lot of these folks, they just don't care. That's
Right.
kind of a mental illness thing, right?
It's like a Arrested Development.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Much so.
So then another aspect of this, though, is that these people live in a completely different paradigm, right? Have you ever heard of the concept of a Cohen? K-O-A-N?
The Coen
Is that how you
brothers,
spell it?
who've
No.
done so many
No.
good movies.
It's a saying, and you know what these are. It's like, what is the sound of one hand clapping? or if a tree falls in the forest, doesn't make a sound. These are concepts, these are poems kind of, that their purpose is to break you out of a paradigm. It's to give you a moment that you have that is suddenly like you feel aware of something that you weren't aware of for the first time ever. So it's kind of like these paradoxical statements that kind of mess up people's brains and their programming a little bit and cause them to go, what? And like think about something that they might not have thought about before. So in my own stupid way, I'm trying to attempt to do that with some of the really ridiculous and stupid shit that I'm posting on some of these people's comments on Facebook. Now, if you're watching at home, you can go on to the Metro Times page and Metro Times Facebook page. And on there is a thread about the federal lawsuit accuses Detroit police of using excessive brutal force against peaceful protesters. So, of course, this thing is going to be rife with idiots, right? You're going to have a bunch of people that are basically just going to say all the same shit that you're used to reading all the time. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. If they didn't follow, if they just obeyed the law, then they wouldn't have any problems. These people are all children that have never had to go through hardship in their lives. Stuff like that, right? So, hey, I decided to jump in, and I'm trying different tactics just to see what kind of works with getting attention for these people. And,
I'll tell you what works on TikTok is, hey, thank you for signal boosting my video. I super appreciate it. Because every time they comment something bad, it's an added bonus to your...
Right, the conversation, yeah.
Yeah, the conversation that goes to more people.
Well, that's a great tactic.
And if you're confused, go right back and watch the video again.
I mean, that's a great tactic.
Maybe they'll help
you.
It's
a great tactic, but that will not work for Metro Times. Well, these people do hate Metro Times, though. They always accuse the Metro Times of posting inaccurate stuff that's just fake news and it's not fact-checked, and it's like, wow, guys, like, you didn't even read the article, obviously. The way that you're talking, it shows us that you didn't read the article. So this thing was posted 3 hours ago. It currently has 86 comments, 19 shares. I personally, I'm very happy that there is a federal lawsuit. I think that the Detroit police have definitely mishandled a lot of the situation. Full disclosure.
It's so weird because the very, very first protest, there was a guy, Trey Little, who was on TikTok and was in the protest.
Yeah.
And he and a police officer, remember I showed you that video, I think we talked about on the show. He goes up to the officer and he goes, hey, look, there's some violence starting. You have personally seen us all day. We've done nothing wrong. We are not doing anything wrong. Is there something you could suggest to us that could help this situation? And he said, go home. Go home right now. Because anyone who is not here and not causing trouble will be home safe. And he goes, okay, sure, done. And he goes home. Because there are peaceful people that want nothing to do with any of these.
Here's the thing. Here's the problem with that, though, is that you cannot just tell people that are going through horrific shit, some of them for generations, some of them have been pushed around for just as long as their family memory goes back, which is that's a nuts statement to consider.
Before that even.
There are people that their family lineage, that every single time that anything would come up in their history, like, imagine that, My grandfather, like, was a cop, and then he fought he also fought in World War II, and, like, I can't, and he had some rough luck during the Depression and shit like that, but I cannot imagine having a family lineage where my grandfather would tell me stories about how the police would abuse and beat up and kill people that they knew, and that was their entire family history of all of this. And if you have that going on, you cannot tell people that, oh, they just need to go home, right? I mean, that's insulting to people to say that.
Yeah.
There are people that are going to be violent in these situations, but it is not the responsibility of the protesters to make sure all those people are weeded out, even though they do it all the time. Protesters are constantly turning in the violent people.
that their passion and emotion will be used against them by forces that are not even from the state in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
Like the case earlier this week where that child who was under 18 shot 2 human beings and killed them.
Yeah.
He wasn't even from the state.
Yeah,
Oh, he
Kyle
was 30
Rittenhouse.
minutes away.
Exactly.
I ain't trying to hear him 30 minutes away. He should have been tucked in bed, and he should not have been there, and he's not even allowed to be holding that gun.
So and here's another thing about that statement that
used
irks
against
me. Here's another thing about that statement that irks me. The police have no problem taking one violent element and grouping all of the protesters into that group and saying
100%.
that that's all bad. But when the protesters or when anybody in Black Lives Matter or whatever says, you know what, there are some really bad cops out there. Oh, you know what? And every interaction I've ever had with police has been horrible. That's why we're saying ACAB. That's why all cops are bastards. That's why people are saying this.
Mm-hmm.
So they're grouping cops all together because that's their experience. But the cops are grouping the protesters together based on a much smaller percentage of experience. Because for the vast majority of protesters, they are not causing violence. They're not presenting a problem. And this
They're even saying
article,
that-
this article is related to specifically the police overstepping their bounds, illegally arresting people that were providing medical attention to people. That's considered a war crime, for one thing.
Right.
They are breaking people's bones. They are permanently damaging people. I mean, Dustin, you know, having gone through some traumatic shit, it's
That
like...
we were talking about at the beginning of the show. Like, I'm still experiencing trauma and overreactions to things that have happened to me in the past because my mind will not allow me to react in a normal way when things are surprising and or confusing and heightened.
So there's a really, really, really good point right there. You've already been through some trauma. Yeah, you made a good point. You've already been through some trauma. You get triggered by trauma. What do you think is going to happen when the police are excessively beating all these people and creating more situations for people to react based on their traumatic experiences? It's going to cycle. It's going to feed into itself. I mean, it already is, you know? It
And
creates more violence. It creates more problems.
And then, let's say they've been saying the same narrative that you're telling us right now. That narrative, you have then the fire and in the parking lot in Wisconsin, wherever the uproar.
Kenosha.
Kenosha. That whole parking lot was on fire. They say that was set by some white extremists, and all of a sudden, though, it just looks like another fire set by Black Lives Matter, set by whatever, and that's where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
My thing is, let's not allow the bad elements to take the passion and the frustration and the years of frustration, the years of anger, and then blame that passion, blame that anger and frustration on the violence that they then set and basically get do the whole swaparoo, do the old magician's hand. Oops, no, it wasn't white people that did that. That was them.
Yeah.
We got to shut this down even more now.
There's a very long history of agent provocateurs.
Yes, all the way back to Hitler burning down the parliament, and then the Nazis taking over from that, blaming the Jews.
I mean, yes,
all the way back to that.
100%, but way before that as well, I would say.
Of course, but I'm saying that is a humongous political moment
Yeah.
where the Jews did not burn that building down. The fact is that the Nazis and Hitler burned that building down just to blame, to take the power that they so badly wanted from the country. And that could happen again, and that's where I'm coming from when I say protest all day, protest until that curfew, and then go home, and then come back the next day.
But see, that's what you're saying, though, is that the curfew, you cannot...
What happens in the darkness...
Hold on. You absolutely cannot tell people what to do.
I'm just saying, from my point of view, this is what's happening, and I'm scared it could go to that next step.
But I'm sorry, though. Here's the thing, though, Dustin. You have to understand, though, you cannot tell people what to do successfully. This is the whole argument where they say, well, if they would just follow orders. But we're talking about trauma. We're talking about automatic reactions. We're
I'm not
talking about things
following orders.
that you
I'm
don't
talking about them
necessarily have
using it.
control over.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
Right.
and in that situation, you're going to tell people, hey, you should just have followed the police orders. People
all.
are messy. People are fucked up. People are
Hurt.
stupid. People are easily angered. People are... They're every gamut of thing that you can possibly imagine. People are those things. And if you know that society is like that, do you design a system that is based on yelling at people and telling them they're wrong, or do you design a system that is smart and works with the psychology of human beings and actually anticipates how they're going to react so that you perform things that are going to help de-escalate situations and work with the psychology of actual human beings instead of yelling at people and trying to shame them and tell them what to do? It's not ever going to work, and it has never worked throughout human history.
Correct.
You know? And that's one of these right-wing arguments that they always throw out is, well, they just need to obey orders. You know
But that
what?
is not what I'm
Obeying
saying.
orders has got us exactly where we are right now.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying obeying orders. What I'm saying is, let's not allow them to use our passion and our frustration against us. That's what I'm trying to say.
But the thing is
I'm not even
that we don't
arguing.
have a choice over that because they're gonna do it no matter what we do.
Okay, I guess counterpoint to they're going to do anything would be a little more obvious that they're doing it if the confusing issue of all around lawlessness, all around craziness was hampered by the side that is justifiably angry being bigger than the other side, which is what they've had to do their whole life. From Martin Luther King Jr.
What do you mean bigger than the other? I'm not sure what you mean.
They have to be. They have to turn the other cheek. They have to. You have to protect yourself from by being careful. I guess.
Yeah, but that's another thing that you're saying. It's basically saying protesters do this. You cannot.
My
It won't
fear
work.
is that
It won't
my fear
work.
is that it's going to be used against us. I'm not telling
It
anyone
already
to do
is,
anything.
though. It already is. But
Oh,
the
yeah.
thing is like, if you tell any protester, you're like, just do this, that's not going to happen. If you had a charismatic leader that was like very eloquently spoken and could motivate people to do something in a specific direction, like Martin Luther King, that's very different. Because that's somebody that's like, hey, we got a plan and we got an action to take to do. You know?
Well, what's crazy to me is that no one's pointing out that just 3 months ago, March, April, that people stormed our Michigan State House with machine guns and AR-15 rifles and assault rifles, and were spitting in policemen's face and screaming at them.
Yep.
And nothing happened to them. They all went home and protested, and no one has said anything about them.
Yeah.
And what? Because they didn't put some spray paint on some things.
There was recently
It's like,
a bunch
where
of
were
white.
the Blue Lives Matters right then. Where were
There
you guys?
there were a bunch of white protesters recently that were angry about some kind of COVID restrictions, and they broke into a state capitol building, broke a door, and were armed. And the police were just like, "Well, you know what? We can't stop them because it's just going to escalate the situation." They're all white, so what do you get? You know, that's what
Well,
Right.
happens.
and then in Kenosha, the policemen were saying, "Hey, we're going to push all of the protesters down towards you
Oh, I
guys,
know.
the militiamen, and you
Yeah.
take care of them." Excuse me?
Disgusting.
It's disgusting. I mean, I don't. That's not my America. That's crazy.
So here's a tactic that I've been trying lately, and tell me what you
Go
think
ahead.
about this.
Like to hear some tactics.
Let's see here. See if we can find one.
He's looking right now. Everyone.
oh,
right now,
boy.
I'm like looking.
Well, you know, let me just go straight to the worst. Let me just go straight to the worst person on this entire thread.
All right.
His name is Don Downriver. He's a deputy sheriff, guys. He is a sheriff in Luna Pier, Michigan. Take a look at his profile pic real quick here.
Speaking of sheriffs, on last week tonight, John Oliver took the Kenosha Police Department to task and showed the sheriff who's not doing the speaking anymore last year all of the horrific things that he was saying about basically just killing people, and then all of a sudden he was one of the videos where he knelt with all the protesters that made me cry. And yet here he is still in power and talking about murders and all this stuff, murdering protesters. So
it's performative. Look at what this sheriff, this is a Michigan deputy sheriff. Wow. This is right on his public profile. So this is not like hidden stuff.
People fear punishment again.
But he's all about being an asshole.
If you're talking about punishment, it's death at the hands of just any person, a mob, then sorry, you're right. You won that argument. Yeah. We are fearful of...
No communism, socialism, Antifa, liberal left, garbage Zucker media. He's on Facebook and he's garbage Zucker media. Very bizarre. So this is the kind of guy that is an officer of the law. And here's what he posted in response to some of my posts here.
We can vote them out, right, sheriffs?
Deputy sheriffs? I don't think so.
Okay.
But, oops, I accidentally clicked on the wrong thing. The new Facebook is just terribly slow. It's just awful. Yeah. My computer is like, it should be able to handle just about anything. Like, I can run, some of the latest games and I video edit everything. It's just nuts,
I think it's like taking information, possibly.
Taking information? They were doing that before and it didn't slow things down, so I don't know why you're thinking you won something here.
I'm trying to win something.
Okay. Anyway, so the first thing he called me, the comments are all out of order on Facebook now as well for some reason, but it's very weird. But anyways, he's like, Mike McGettigan, you're so ignorant, you take it in the ass daily, fits you to a T.
What?
And I'm like, he said immediately, if you're insulting somebody because they take it in the ass, I mean, wow, what era are you from?
Yeah.
First of all, like, are you drinking sody pop with your greaser pals out in the back of the drugstore?
With our Meltdown Island friends and family and viewers. So that's something I didn't even know about you, Mike. And so that's shocking that you'd be able to share that with this guy, or that you found that out, which doesn't make any sense. Do you want to?
I mean, it's more just Mike's general vibe that he picked up, right?
He called me a bee pirate.
Yeah, I saw that. I've been reading it actually while you guys were talking. I've been reading your comments.
Yeah. A bee pirate, which is just so hilarious.
The memes are so ridiculous.
It's
insane.
insane.
You pirates on the online. What is it?
So, hey, why not? Here's one of the things that I posted on here, and I don't know. Maybe this triggered him a bit. Maybe it didn't. Don River, what's wrong with taking in the ass daily? Oh, that's right. You live in a world where anyone that doesn't live in the suburbs with an obedient, subordinate wife that cries quietly to herself every night is some kind of deviant. Keep mowing the lawn, mow away the heartache.
I love to keep mowing the lawn. It's just like...
Because I'm thinking, like, what does this guy actually do? I'm sure.
Like, what does he do for fun? He gets drunk and mows the lawn.
Yep.
When he's pissed at his wife, he goes out and he fucking angry mows the lawn.
Yep.
There was a point when Jill and I were in the verbs, I was like, I kind of get the people, why guys like the lawn. It is kind of nice to stand out here and just put water on it.
This guy has a real hard-on for nooses. Look at this thing. Yeah. Mike McGettigan, here's another one for your hero. Maybe you can join him. I don't know who my hero is supposed to be.
Now, if he
thinks that it's Joe Biden, I got some news for him.
Like, should we start just reporting some of these people? Like, that is an insane.
Oh yeah, I'm planning on reporting this guy because I think that this guy is.
That is not.
That is not okay.
Just the amount of Democratic homosexual memes that he has on here, where it's just like orgies of Joe Biden. And
I know.
Like all these but then right above it is literally a meme with a child on it.
I know,
But
it's
right
insane.
between Obama having sex. Like, what is this?
I know, it doesn't make
here's
any
the thing
sense.
is they're throwing darts at a wall right
Right.
now.
Look, what is
Because
that?
Because
What
ever
the
since this
hell?
kid- ever
Who
since
is
kid
this
showed up-
anyway? Who's in this picture?
Yeah.
Is that's Biden in the
I
back?
see.
Oh Lord.
Is that Chuck Schumer?
Yeah, that looks like Schumer.
And
But
then
I don't know who the other two guys
who
are.
are the other two guys? I mean, that's
You,
just
is it you?
baffling
See if it's
to
you.
me.
Maybe it's me and
What-
you.
What's even better is that someone took the time to make that.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
they're
and you
obviously
can tell they didn't. It looked like it photoshopped like really bad, like the cutting job.
yeah, they're really
MS
great at
Paint, maybe?
Photoshop.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
God. And it's like, so what is the actual like accusation here? Is that everyone that's a Trump hater is gay?
Yeah.
Totally.
Exactly.
You guys could all get in a bed together, you know.
Like what?
You don't have to be
Doesn't sound that bad.
on the island where we're all melting
Oh,
together,
God.
nakedly in a bed of weather on Meltdown Island together.
Here's a
We
great
should
one.
just start.
Here's another great one that
Right.
that is all about
Sorry, I got too into that one.
subtly threatening violence on us.
Right. And that was right. That's right before the last picture of the orgy.
It
Yeah.
was-
That's the meme he posted right before
Yeah.
with a child on it. I'm like, come on, man.
What the hell?
We should just when we meet people like this, collect like the best forward-facing like face shot you can, and then we'll just start face swapping them. We'll reveal
Well, definitely, we've gotten
like
some requests.
speeches.
We've gotten some requests from Mark Mikula and others about doing that face. Remember that day we did do the mouths for
Yeah.
the faces? People really liked it, Mike. It's maybe it's just that I keep putting more of them on TikToks, but they're quite funny.
We can do it again. It just takes a little while to set
Gotta
up.
make sure they're forward-facing.
Fair enough.
It's hard
Fair
to set
enough.
up. So this is Romney and Obama, which is
How did
just
someone get that photo? How did they get that photo?
so bizarre. It's just so bizarre. This is the thing that they think will make me upset. I mean, this guy is so far from making me upset. It's just hilarious. But that's
It's
kind of
almost
what
like
I'm
becoming a
loving
fan
is
of
that
his.
I'm just loving that they think that they could get me upset with things like their dumb memes, which are
You think
so
you can hurt
dumb.
my feelings?
Huh?
The meme, their meme game is so bizarre.
It's so
Think you can
bizarre.
hurt my feelings?
So bizarre. Obama is his favorite power couple.
Obama. Ooh, Obama, Romney and Obama, Rambamba, Robamba. It's Ramba. Rum, bum, bum,
Yeah, I totally forgot. I was like, who even is Mitt Romney? Like, I forgot about that guy.
Remember
Why is
him?
he? Yeah,
Because
like, why
he's
is
a
he?
senator who stands up to Trump, and all the other ones are afraid of becoming Flake or becoming Robamba, I guess. That's
All
a
right.
great name.
Alala Robamba. Oh, man. Now
You didn't
I'm just,
even
like,
notice that I
obsessively looking
froze
at
for a
his-
second.
We did,
there.
we did. We were trying to cover.
Yeah, we're filling
Good
the time.
covering. Good covering.
I'm like just obsessively like stalking his profile.
Yeah.
He posted one thing that is actually kind of cool. I mean, it isn't because it's for police, but it's like it's called a bolo wrap.
I saw
Like a
that thing.
machine
Yeah.
that projectile fires a bolo.
That one
Like, I've always
confused me.
wanted that.
That confused me that he was into that because I really would have assumed that he's more about violently subduing people,
Yeah,
and
like
that wouldn't be
shooting him in the
violent enough.
back.
He's probably going to use it to aim for people's necks. Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking. He's gonna noose them.
So a couple of things that are driving me crazy are the fact that like my dad thinks that Black Lives Matter is backed by something called Act Blue, which I don't know what that is.
Act Blue is an independent like voting pack or something, and they feed money to different organizations. And so, like, if you donate to BLM, it goes to them, and they of course push for Democratic candidates.
So
Because
then he is a little bit justified in what he is saying, that the Act Blue is a thing that is Like,
I
I
mean,
just don't get it. What
What
he's trying.
I mean, what are they going to do? Say that we're not politically aligned with any ideologies? I mean, the thing is that Democrats will consistently push for stuff that's a little bit more liberal. As much of a failure as Democrats have been, they still will push for stuff that's a little bit more liberal, as opposed to like, so if you donate to BLM, should it be something that's like, we do not align with any political party or whatever? I mean, what's the problem with that? I don't understand.
I guess he must think that it's a conspiracy and
Yeah.
it's not a real movement, and that it's a created thing just to get Trump out. When
That's-
really it's
Right.
worldwide. It's worldwide.
Yeah, exactly.
Worldwide movement and happening in every country and every large city. What was the other thing driving me crazy?
I don't know, because it's there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Let me see. I got to find another one here, because I think that some of this is a new tactic that I think is working really well.
is my favorite power couple. One is Schiff. Audra says Adam Schiff, House Representative from California, rumored to possibly be Biden's choice for the head of DOJ.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Huh.
Were Bezos and Jeff W. Bush in the bed meme? I don't know. That's a good question there, Mark Mikola. Bolo for dollars on the CW. Tuesday nights, 8:30 p.m.
I'm just sending you stuff from Don's profile.
Oh, in the Meltdown Island chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Just
guy.
some gems.
Welcome to Meltdown Island, everyone, where we are today looking at the internet melting down and some of the right's new talking points.
I don't know.
Because
I don't think they're new. They're not new.
Well, they've lost some of the morality points in the guns debate because what is it, the gun thing, NRA, we're for everybody having guns, and then the black guy stands up, he goes, here we go, let's go, we all got guns now, let's go, me and my brothers go. Just 1 second, before we get crazy. And so now that this kid has shot a couple of Black Lives Matter protesters, it's like they're losing some of that morality. Oh, it's just about hunting. Oh, it's just about this or that. And now they're saying, oh, it's a good thing he shot that one guy. That one guy's a pedophile.
Right.
It's like, wait, what? What are you talking about? This guy's a pedophile. Isn't it like the gun owner's wet dream to be able to pull out a hidden gun and stop the guy that's killing people with guns?
Yep.
Isn't that everyone's like, oh, I've done it, I'm a hero.
Mm-hmm.
And yet all of a sudden we got a guy who was doing that and got shot by the kid, but it's okay because the kid is on our side.
Right.
And it's like, no, there's no sides. There's the law, which
Right.
the law, right? That's what you guys are complaining about, the lawlessness.
Right.
This kid was lawless.
Yep.
Sorry.
You're
Oh,
absolutely
right,
right. Absolutely right.
On so many different angles.
Why would you argue for that kid, and why would you back him up? Because he shot people that you, what? That what? Like, it doesn't make any sense. They've lost the moral standings.
I wish there's a place you could go and troll these people in real time.
There is.
on the
There is.
show.
It's called
Well, I
Facebook.
mean, just the internet, really. But, like, reliably. We're like, we know this person's going to react, so we can really troll them.
Well, I follow a couple of people that are doing this. There's a guy, we follow him on the old YouTube, and I'll tell you what his name is right now so you can write it down because he's quite funny.
Yeah, definitely write it down.
For those of you who like to write things, this would be one of those things to write down. And his name is, right here, Ben Palmer. Ben Palmer. You might want to check him out. His name's Ben, and then think of Laura Palmer from the
Twin
show
Peaks.
Twin Peaks. So think of boobies, think of Twin Peaks, think of Laura Palmer, and then think of Ben Palmer.
You're
the
giving
guy
people
who-
way too much to think about.
What happened? Where am I?
Yeah, I don't know. I think
Some food for
Dustin
thought.
just froze for a second.
Gobble,
I don't know.
gobble,
I don't
eat
have
up.
any memory of
Gobble
it.
up all that food I just gave you to think about. Plus, the kid ran afoul of the age-old states' rights argument of conservatives since he left Illinois to help in Wisconsin. Yep, you're 100% right, Mark. He should not have left. First of all, what about his mother? The lady who drove him
Yeah.
across state lines, gave him a
Garbage.
AR-15 assault rifle to then run in the streets to what? to protect a building? Do you own one of the buildings?
Yeah.
Do you have any ownership?
So just your
And-
favorite building?
And so, therefore, doesn't the mother, this would be a question for Audra. Audra, if you're listening, doesn't the mother, as a lawyer, doesn't the mother have a stake in the lives that her son killed, that she drove across state lines and gave an AR-15 assault rifle to and said, go protect things, and then he shot people, and then she drove him home that night, and then they went back and he got arrested then the next day. You know, mind you, not shot in the back 7 times like the first guy who was completely innocent with his kids in the car.
Right.
This kid shot people, walked with his hands up saying, I killed them. And other people going, that guy killed people. And the police are like, thank you, keep moving. Yeah, we got to go to all these people.
Yep.
I mean,
Carry on.
Yeah, you're obviously
certain
not
point-
hurting anybody because you're a white kid.
At a certain point, you got to say, maybe it's not the gun, maybe it's the color of the skin that is the most dangerous thing.
Mhm.
Because the guy in the car with the kids that got shot in the back 7 times is now paralyzed for life.
Yeah.
He was breaking up a fight between two women, and then the police showed up, and he goes, oh, I don't want none of this. I mean, I got to get my babies in here. Pop, 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 pop. Why didn't they tase him? Why didn't they tackle him? They shot him 7 times.
Well, there's conflicting accounts from firsthand witnesses that are there or whatever. The fact of the matter is that they did not have to shoot the guy, no matter what. You don't shoot people as a first response. That's just the way it is. And a lot of other places in the world handle shit a lot better than we do. And it's very evident that there's a police problem in this country that has been going on a very long time. So Ken Scott posts on here, peaceful protests, bullshit. So I put, hey everyone, Ken Scott has not only followed all the coverage on the Detroit protests, but he's read all kinds of sources and weighed historical perspectives on protests in the United States. Thank God we have people like Ken who know all the facts. I feel like that is a good tactic. I feel like that can really...
Great.
Go ahead, Mike.
I feel like that could actually get people like Ken upset, or like, well, I'll show you I don't know the facts. Like, what is he going to do? Learn something? I hope he learns something. I hope he reads about stuff, you know?
By the way, their platform is Make America Great Again. Again.
Yeah, I know. When is the again? When did the again
They're
happen?
using the same exact. They didn't write a new platform, so they're running on the fact that all the things they ran on before. They got to get this guy out of office. We got to do all these things. That's the same platform. It's hilarious. It's dare I say lazy at a certain point. It's just funny. And I cannot believe that the other people can't see it. Like, why am I? Yeah, last week we decided I have a broken brain, or I'm mad.
Last week?
Yeah. Thanks, Adam. See? Thanks, Adam. I read the Kentro Times all the time. Oh, Mark.
So I think that one of these things that that helps like mess with these people's brains a little bit is kind of like painting them as like the experts that they think they are in a sarcastic way, because how can they respond to that? They have to go to facts or something, right? They're stuck. That's a dead end for them.
Yeah, you
right.
Unless,
you,
I mean, they usually will just immediately default to ad hominem attacks and like, or threatening violence. I mean, that's the go-to for the right.
Right, yeah.
You know,
Totally.
that's exactly the playbook is, you know, and especially with that guy, that Don guy or whatever the hell his name is, his playbook is call him gay. That'll get him. Like, you know, like, do you understand that we don't give a shit about that?
No, they don't.
Right, yeah, look. So, yeah, maybe I am. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
My best friends are gay.
Why do you care?
My friend, I have a friend in that she masks and stuff. She has since the beginning of the quarantine, and she's been taking them to, like, the Black Lives Matter protests and just giving them away and stuff. And she went to a Black Lives Matter protest when she lives in Arizona near Tempe, by the way. Or no, Portland now. when she went to the Black Lives Matter protest, there was a Blue Lives Matter protest going on at the same time. And she was like, where all the Black Lives Matter protest people parked, it was filled. So she parked near the Blue Lives Protest Matter because that's the only option she had.
Yeah.
So, right. And then she noticed when she was driving around that people, like when they would be chanting, the Black Lives Matter people, the Blue Lives Matter people would come by and like just lay on their horn, like for as long as they could, and they would yell obscenities and all this stuff. So then when she was like about to leave, she's like a little amped, you know, and she's like, oh, I'll give them a taste of their own medicine. And she like lays on their horn because she's right next to their protest. And then she was like suddenly surrounded by like 4 men. Mm-hmm. One of them had like bear mace. One of them had a semi-automatic rifle. And then she had her windows cracked. And while she's talking to the guy with the semi-automatic rifle, because you're not going to take your eye off the guy with the gun, the other guy spritzes a little bit of mace into her car, bear mace. So then she's suddenly like eyes watering until she got out and freaked out on him. And like just the rhetoric, like the things that they say, like the phrases and stuff, like, oh, come cause trouble in our neighborhood and see what happens.
Right.
See what happens. Oh, we'll punish you. And then at one point he's just like, because she was mad and she was like getting heated a little bit. She was like, fuck you. And, you know, you can't do this. You can't just attack people. You can't, you know, you're being ignorant. And then his response was, oh, she's like, were you sexually molested as a child? Because that's the only thing that could explain why you're so deranged and filled with anger. It's like, who goes to that? Yeah. Who is that? Like, that is like such a, you see a young woman, so you're like immediately like, let's talk about whether or not she's been raped. Yeah. Like, that's so fucked up.
It's insane. That's like, why is that's what they immediately go to, because they don't have the ability to make any kinds of connections logically. They just are following a program. And if something threatens that program, then it's immediately makes them so angry that they have no other choice but to go to violence.
And to go as dark and angry as they feel, which is to then attack them in a way that makes them, just like you said, Adam. What? Why would you bring up that at all? Like, what is me having being abused have anything to do with
and she's
the
like,
fact that you
just
sprayed me in the eyes?
Right? Yeah, you just bear maced me. Like, it's not even regular mace. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever ingested any amount of mace. It's like the worst thing you can experience.
It's terrible. It's awful.
And bear mace can kill you. Like, it's such a higher concentration because of their fur, their size. There's so many elements that they have to account for that it's like super mace.
Super mace, you'll always be bear mace to me.
So here's another thing. I posted this recently. Check this out. This is a video that I posted. If you want to see the whole thing, you can go online and check it out. The title is "Man in BLM Shirt Surrounded by White Supremacists at Gettysburg."
Oh, this is...
This is awful. This is just a guy, a pastor. A pastor went to a... That's disgusting. A pastor went to a cemetery. And
to visit his ancestors.
Yeah, to visit his ancestors' graves. He was wearing a BLM shirt. These right-wingers thought that there was going to be a Black Lives Matter protest at or near the cemetery that day. So all these right-winger idiots show up ready to harass people and fuck with them. And they find the one guy in a BLM shirt and surround him immediately. You can see how incredibly fucked up all these people are acting all around him, wearing their Blue Lives Matter shit and their Trump shit.
It's like Mark always says, I don't argue with gun rights guys because they have, guns in their hands.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, that's a sidetrack note. But check this. This video is like this is the kind of mentality that it takes to be on that side. And these guys, there was only one guy there that was like, "You're not gonna get hurt today, buddy. You're gonna walk out of here." But then proceeded to berate him in very upsetting ways.
And they want it, like, they antagonize. They're like, oh yeah, do something, hit me, I'll whoop your ass. That's always like they're just like trying to goat you.
Yeah.
But you can, like, you just listening to the pastor, he sounds like a dork. Like he sounds like some dweeby little guy. I'm like,
And the sad thing
why do you
is
get-
we are all focused on this kind of stuff instead of, and he's got that shirt, 1776. Guess what? We were rebellious against the British to get our rights.
Yeah.
yeah,
We rebelled.
we rioted. Like,
Guess what?
we literally
The
caused
South
war.
rioted. Their flag is a losing flag from them rioting and standing up against America,
Mm-hmm.
against USA. They were Confederates. They were the.
So if you
Hey,
watch,
let's- Go
if you
ahead.
watch this whole video, this police officer is also
Yeah.
incredibly
That's where it's like,
disgusting.
come on.
And this
He
is
just
the
keeps
kind of
like
subtle.
lecturing him. Right.
It's
but-
the kind of subtle dog whistling crap that the police constantly are doing and pretending like, I didn't say anything. It's like a little kid, like, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching
Yeah,
you. I'm not touching you. I'm not
Yeah,
touching
totally.
you. You know?
That
Yeah.
little thing right there, the RNC 2020 in Kenosha, that's the new John Oliver. Make sure you watch that because it's great.
he almost
speaking of
puts the
dumb-
blame on the pastor. He's like, you need to be able to de-escalate. That's what
Yep.
he just keeps saying. You need, and it's like, no, I don't. I'm just here, and these people surrounded me. And he like, it's almost like he puts on a show for the protesters.
Well,
Yep.
he is. Anytime.
And they're
there's a
chanting
pastor, he's
chanting
preaching.
USA as they haul
and
him off.
And he even says, the cop even says, I was worried that you could get hurt. He's like,
Yeah.
something bad could happen to you. A violent act could happen to you.
What's
But-
crazy
But-
He also
But I gotta
says
protect
to that
them, too.
protester, he's also saying to that protester basically like, you need to leave because otherwise these people are going to hurt you. And he
Yeah,
basically
exactly.
just puts it 100% of the blame on him, you know?
Yeah.
yeah, because it's not free to just be myself.
Mark
Uh,
Mikula says, yeah, it's the 6th grade response of provoking somebody into doing something so that you can
Yeah.
get the other person to do it. And then you're like, look
And
what
the
they
troll
did.
side.
The trolling thing that they don't get is when they say all lives matter, black lives have to matter before all lives can matter.
Or at least if they're saying all lives matter, it has to be included, at least,
Yeah.
right?
Because right now it's not. Right
Yeah.
now you could care less that they're dying. You could care less that guy got shot in the back 7 times by a policeman at point
Yep.
blank range. What are we talking about?
Mm-hmm.
You're too willing to look away from the problem. You have to look. You have
Yeah.
to look.
Well, they
You look-
think that racism doesn't exist.
That's insane.
You know,
Because
that's what they think, though. They think that racism is done. That's over. We dealt with that back in the 1800s. It's not a thing anymore. They
there's an
really
old
do
joke I
think
used
that.
to do. There's an old joke I used to do, Mike. It's not that I'm not racist or anything like that. I just hate everybody that's not me. Name somebody,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. I don't like them because they're not me.
But that's just
Now you can't even-
xenophobia.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like name doesn't matter. Just pick somebody. I hate them.
I mean, that discounts, though, that these people, the
Well, I'm
only
not allowed
thing
to
that
do
they
that joke. What
love
about
are
me?
people on their team, you know?
Jokes matter. Well, yeah, you don't like that one, Adam.
I didn't hear
Some
it.
people
I
should
didn't hear
push
it.
the line of jokings. I agree.
There's a local business. And you guys, you can look it up, but I won't really say who it is. But where the guy made a T-shirt that just said "Lives Matter," and he's African American, he's black, so it's like it puts off this weird vibe of like that goes without saying,
Yeah.
Like, by saying "Lives Matter" feels like you're like
It
taking
feels
a
dismissive.
stance.
It feels
Yeah,
dismissive
exactly.
to what is happening. That's the thing I was posting about Dolly Parton. She came out and said, "What are we? We think our little white asses are the only ones that matter? No, Black Lives Matter. Everybody's lives matter, and it's that one word, the inclusive everybody and all. All lives is dismissive. Like what you're saying, all Black Lives Matter, all lives matter. Get out of here.
Because it's a
Right.
response.
Everybody's life matter means everybody. Come here. You matter to me. Everybody matters. And it's that simple wordplay, that simple switching of a thing that makes that allows these divisions to happen,
Yeah.
and allows them to take a stand on a side and stand there strongly with
Right.
their guns and their all same colors.
But, a lot of this is just
drives me
such
nuts.
really, it's based in tribalism. It's based in identifying with your
Look, it's a
team,
tribe.
identifying with your team as the first thing, and that anything that threatens your team or its ideology is the enemy, and you have to attack it in order to stay safe. It's
you can
the
just-
same bullshit that starts religious wars. It's the same bullshit that is expressed in sporting events. It's that same bullshit
100%.
tribalism.
I've been saying that about sports. Sports is one of the things that keeps us apart, because as I grew up in Ohio, we were meant to believe that that everybody in Michigan, they're all monsters, you know, because of the football team. Because the famous story is that our football coach, he stopped to get gasoline in Toledo, would drive to the stadium, and then come back and get gasoline back in Ohio. Wouldn't make one purchase while he's in Michigan because there's such pieces of dog. Add your own word. You know what I mean?
I do
So-
know what you mean, because I used to date somebody that lived in Columbus, Ohio, and I would drive down there occasionally.
Nice.
And when I did that, my car was defaced and like stuff was poured on it. I witnessed people getting attacked that were wearing Michigan gear, and it was just like, what the fuck are you people doing?
I don't
The
care
thing
about-
is that it happens
care
down in
about your
down in Columbus a bit more often than it happens up in Michigan, because they have just kind of that one big team. They have that, and then they have a soccer team.
Right.
They don't really have much going on there, so I think they get way worked up about their identity based on that team. You know what I mean?
Get worked up. Ohio. Don't know why I would ever leave Ohio.
But I mean, you know, think about the way that people are identifying with their tribe, with their ideal, with their ideology. The thing is that people do that on the left as well all the time.
Of course.
And a lot of people that are talking about protests and stuff also do that as well. And I think it's an important thing to do some self-analysis and some reflection on your own beliefs and figure out if you're just believing things based on your team's belief, people that you think that are right, or if you actually have knowledge about the subject. You know, and I think that the less that we allow ourselves to let team identification dictate our ideas and moralities about this world, the better off all of us will be. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark says that you can, going back to his previous thing, you can then justify your own physical attack as self-defense, which is exactly what's happening in Kenosha with that kid who shot 2 people because he was knocked down at
3
one
people.
point. He
Yeah.
fell down. I was just talking, which is my First Amendment right, and he pushed me, so I was defending my own self. And,
that's part
yeah,
of the
that-
whole self-defense law, is that you cannot antagonize someone into attacking you. That is actually expressly written into that law down there in Kenosha.
Huh.
So it's like, but that's what they want, though. You know.
course.
I mean, the thing is that kid, Kyle Rittenhouse, decides that he's going to help defend Kenosha. He works in Kenosha, but he doesn't have any stake in his like personal, like, oh yeah, you really love that speedway, don't you? You got
Well,
to
to
go
the point
defend
where
that
he-
speedway.
He doesn't live in the state. He lives
No.
in another state.
He does, I know. I mean,
I'm
it
gonna
is
keep pushing
only
that
about 40 minutes away or whatever, so it's
Don't
not
care.
super
Don't
far.
care.
But
Don't
yeah,
care.
it doesn't matter.
There are laws, law people.
Well,
There
yeah,
are
I mean, the
laws.
thing is, you bring a gun to a place, then you might have to kill somebody,
Right.
right? And that's
the
something that you
intention,
should
right?
not do, especially over property.
We are one
Things.
race of human beings floating on a rock, caught in the vortex of a fireball that is also floating through space.
Yeah.
The fact that we are arguing about the color of skin, that's stupid. There's unique cultures, there's unique colors, I'm sorry, this is, Rollo says, my team sucks. Historically, go Lions. Colors are for football. All humans are equal. Mine.
Oh, yeah. We're all just meat skeletons piloted by ghosts.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And if you're here, it's probably because you failed last time around and you had to do a do-over. That's why we're getting so many people in the world, because we got so many people that don't do it right.
There's one thing that I thought was
Yeah, what I just said.
no. I was gonna look something
Audra.
up, but Audra just commented. What about the guy who shot before people tried to disarm him, though? Self-defense is a terrible argument, but it's likely the best one his lawyers could make. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't because once he shot someone, now he's a live active shooter that we're all trying to stop with our.
There's no
hidden gun.
pre-crime in self-defense. You can't do it.
As soon as he shot and killed someone, all the people who had their guns that were concealed go, "Oop, my turn."
Right.
Yet, guess what? Kyle didn't die. Kyle went home that night with his mom. Drove home to another state. That's all.
So here's a story that I ran across a while
He was
ago,
also
and this
too
is
young to have a gun and
somebody
lost an
online
yeah.
wrote this story, and it kind of goes with what you were saying, Dustin.
He's just a teenager. He's not even 18 yet. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm not finding the actual story itself. but
Okay,
I
then
mean-
I'll keep going about. So he was committed. So that's why I brought up his mom, Audra, because at a certain point, isn't his mom the one who made the decision? Because he's not able to make that decision because he's a minor. So isn't it his mother that made the decision to take him across state lines? Say, here's your gun, Bubby. You be careful out there. Don't you get shot tonight. And then he goes out and kills people. So
Yeah.
she's got something to do with it somewhere.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so this is a short story I ran across on Reddit years ago, and I thought it was pretty cool because it did a little thing to your brain. It kind of is a neat, an interesting story.
So you've saved it for years.
And it's called "The Egg" by Andy Weir. So you may have heard this before, but I think I'm going to read this. It's not that long, and I think it's pretty cool. So I think it's worth listening to.
Would you like me to do any kind of background music for you?
No, absolutely
Okay.
not. If you want to edit this afterwards, yes, you can do that. But please do not do that.
Go ahead.
Okay, are you ready?
Ready.
Are you ready,
all
Dustin?
right.
You're
It's
going
all
to keep
right.
quiet for it might take as long as 2 minutes to read this. So do you think you can
Start
be
the clock.
quiet for that long?
Start all the clocks in the world.
Oh boy. Adam's taking bets right now and seeing if you can actually
Yeah,
be
exactly.
Quiet.
Okay, here we go. You were on your way home when you died. It was a car accident, nothing particularly remarkable, but fatal nonetheless. You left behind a wife and 2 children. It was a painless death. The EMTs tried their best to save you, but to no avail. Your body was so utterly shattered you were better off. Trust me. And that's when you met me. What? What happened, you asked. Where am I? You died, I said, matter-of-factly. No point in mincing words. There was a truck, and it was skidding. Yep, I said. I died? Yep, but don't feel bad about it. Everyone dies, I said. You looked around. There was nothingness, just you and me. What is this place, you asked? Is this the afterlife? More or less, I said. Are you God? You asked. Yep, I replied. I'm God. My kids, my wife, you said. What about them? Will they be all right? That's what I like to see, I said. You just died and your main concern is for your family. That's good stuff right there. You looked at me with fascination. To you, I didn't look like God. I looked just like some man or possibly a woman, some vague authority figure maybe, more of a grammar school teacher than the Almighty. Don't worry, I said. They'll be fine. Your kids will remember you as perfect in every way. They didn't have time to grow contempt for you. Your wife will cry on the outside, but will be secretly relieved. To be fair, your marriage was falling apart. If it's any consolation, she'll feel very guilty for feeling relieved. Oh, you said.
Ooh.
So what happens now? Do I go to heaven or hell or something? Neither, I said. You'll be reincarnated. Ah, you said. So the Hindus were right. All religions are right in their own way, I said. Walk with me. You followed along as we strode through the void. Where are we going? Nowhere in particular, I said. It's just nice to walk while we talk. So what's the point then, you asked? When I get reborn, I'll just be a blank slate, right? A baby, so all my experiences, everything I did in this life won't matter. Not so, I said. You have within you all the knowledge and experiences of all your past lives. You just don't remember them right now. I stopped walking and took you by the shoulders. Your soul is more magnificent, beautiful, and gigantic than you can possibly imagine. A human mind can only contain a tiny fraction of what you are. It's like sticking your finger in a glass of water to see if it's hot or cold. You put a tiny part of yourself into the vessel, and when you bring it back out, you've gained all the experiences that it had. You've been a human for the last 48 years, so you haven't stretched out yet and felt the rest of your immense consciousness. If we hung out here for long enough, you'd start remembering everything, but there's no point to doing that between each life. How many times have I been reincarnated then? Oh, lots. And into lots of different lives, I said. This time around, you'll be a Chinese peasant girl in 580 AD. Wait, what? You stammered. You're sending me back in time? Well, I guess technically time as you know it only exists in your universe. Things are different where I come from. Where do you come from, you said. Oh, sure, I explained. I come from somewhere else, and there are others like me. I know you'll want to know what it's like there, but honestly, you wouldn't understand. Oh, you said, a little let down. But wait, if I get reincarnated to other places in time, I could have interacted with myself at some point. Sure, happens all the time. And with both lives only aware of their own lifespan, you don't even know it's happening. So what's the point of it all? Seriously, I asked. Seriously, you're asking me for the meaning of life. Isn't that a little stereotypical? Well, it's a reasonable question, you persisted. I looked you in the eye. The meaning of life, the reason I made this whole universe is for you to mature. You mean mankind? You want us to mature? No, just you. I made this whole universe for you. With each new life, you grow and mature and you become larger and greater intellect. Just me? What about everybody else? There is no one else, I said. In this universe, there's just you and me. You stared blankly at me. But all the people on Earth, all you, different incarnations of you. Wait, I'm everyone? Now you're getting it, I said with a congratulatory slap on the back. I'm every human being who ever lived or who will ever live, yes. I'm Abraham Lincoln and you're John Wilkes Booth too, I added. I'm Hitler, you said, appalled, and you're the millions he killed. I'm Jesus and you're everyone who followed him. You fell silent. Every time you victimized someone, I said, you were victimizing yourself. Every act of kindness you've done to yourself. Every happy and sad moment ever experienced by any human was or will be experienced by you. You thought for a long time. Why, you asked me, why do all this? Because someday you will become like me, because that's what you are. You're one of my kind. You're my child. Whoa, you said, incredulous. You mean I'm a god? No, not yet. You're a fetus. You're still growing. But once you've lived every human life throughout all of time, you'll have grown enough to be born. So the whole universe, you said, it's just an egg, I answered. Now it's time for you to move on to your next life. And I sent you on your way.
Mike McGettigan, everyone. Mike McGettigan.
But yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool story. I mean, it's like, it really subverts a lot of your expectations when you keep reading as you read it on. You know what I mean?
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
5
totally.
minutes. That's 5 minutes. I was quiet. That's 5 full minutes.
Yeah, but you were making
Dang.
some ridiculous faces, though.
I'm
Great
impressed.
story. I was playing the dumb guy.
Maybe branch out and play a different character sometime.
Too late. I'm all of them.
But
Thanks,
what I
Kurt.
like about
Send
that,
video over.
what I
Sorry,
like
I
about
wanted to say
that
that right
though
away.
is the thought. I like the thought that we are everyone.
I am me and you are me and we are free when we are all together.
See how
That's
they
what I
run
say
like
as
pigs from the
that's
gun.
What I say to myself as I fall asleep for a while was my mantra to remind myself.
I mean, it's kind of, to me, just a beautiful understanding of reincarnation and
Thank you.
how, not you, not
Oh.
you, that story. I don't know. I just really enjoyed
That
it
was a nice
and
compliment.
thought it was kind of a cool take on the whole reincarnation thing.
Kurt Brinker
Yes,
is-
Kurt Brinker, you are Whitney Houston and every woman. Absolutely. He's getting it, guys. Kurt's getting it. He's having an awakening.
And I think you want
So I don't know. Is that it for today, guys? Let's move on to.
Oh no, I feel like we're just getting started.
Oh,
Right.
is today going to be a 5-hour stream?
I mean, maybe why not?
I don't
What's
know.
stopping us?
It's
What's
exhausting
stopping
to
us?
be on a show with you, Dustin. You don't even know what it's like.
I mean, Adam just yawned like he was that old guy. who
I mean,
sleeps
I only got
for
like 4 hours of sleep. I actually got COVID tested this morning because I have a colonoscopy on Wednesday.
Oof.
So I did like wake up and at like 7 and then go to like drive for an hour and then get a thing shoved down my nose. So I'm just tired.
Gosh,
Was
It
it
has
as
nothing to do
terrible
with
as they
you,
say? The whole thing
Yeah,
of
it was bizarre and awful.
I kind of want
weird.
it.
Yeah, no, it's worth experiencing. It just kind of makes you feel like you got the drip, like the nasal drip.
Post nasal.
But like my your eyes are watering and you feel like it's there for like an hour.
I dared him to try it because my nose is so messed up. There's no way they could even.
It
find
might fix you. They. Oh, the inside of your nose. Yeah, it's like. Would you say it's kind of like a labyrinth?
I would say it's kind of like a labyrinth.
Okay, because duck vaginas
get
are
in.
also labyrinths. So maybe a duck
Yeah,
penis
duck
would
vaginas.
clear you out really well.
Probably corkscrew. You need a good old
People say I look a lot like a
corkscrew duck.
vagina.
I just heard Audra laugh from the other room. I think that might have been the first time she's ever laughed at the show.
Hey, we might start getting some female viewers then.
We might
Hi,
start getting
females.
female viewers again. Is that what you just said?
Welcome to the newest and improvediest all-male show for women.
I just want you to get a duck penis up your nose. That's it.
I had a duck penis. I'd penis in the morning. I'd hook it in the evening all over this. At least twice. Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet.
Any final thoughts on the short story The Egg, or on commenting, or police brutality, or what's going on right now, or anything like that?
Everybody's nose is somebody else's duck vagina, Mike, and that's the point of the short story.
It's all right to make the penis connection.
Oh, there it is. The quote brought it all the way back home. Look at him. Beautiful. He might be half asleep right now, you guys, but that's when your mind really starts making connections.
I just love
Right.
Mark Mikula's commentary.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
great.
it's the best part of the show.
Yeah, when he's not here, it's felt. The Hallmark Channel presents Meltdown Island. Oh, yeah? Well, I'm changing. I am not going to be the same person that you knew yesterday.
Oh, that's
No.
I see what you're doing. You're trying to do
Very
a Hallmark acting kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. You can see me acting. You can tell.
I put you in a show one time.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I still
brought the
regret
limp back.
that.
I brought the limp back to acting.
Sorry, I
Goes my-
can't hold it back
There
today.
goes my character. You got a limp.
You did a great job in the show. All joking aside, that was a lot of fun to have you in the show. But I remember your comment was that you hated being in shows because they had too many words.
No, I mean, it's just that there's sometimes I've got words too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you got a script. You get the script delivered. Adam turned into a still picture, so I guess he's gone.
Oh, see you guys.
Oh wait, you're here.
Yeah, he didn't go.
I mean, I can hear you. I just.
Your picture's out.
This is maybe a good time for me to go to the bathroom. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Well, I think
I mean, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's like the world of Skype, you know, like nowadays, like Skype and Zoom.
Oh yeah, totally. No, I've peed twice already on this show.
Yeah,
During
exactly.
while he was reading,
Well,
I just muted it and went into
well,
a bottle.
That's just because of your catheter.
I wish.
Uh,
Well, if I had a catheter, I wouldn't have to
let's
spend so much time on
let's
the
wrap it up.
bathroom.
Let's wrap it up, Dustin. Let's wrap it up.
You would spend half your life in the bathroom, you know that? It's like a waste of time. Get me together. Thank you. That was another acting. That was a different show, though. It was not Hallmark. Apologize to those of you. I'd like to welcome you all to Roses and Thorns. This is everyone's favorite part of the show. It's where we wrap up today's discussion, our stories, our meltdowns, our PTSD enlightenments, and we put it all in a nice little rosy and thorny bow for you to put around your neck and wear for a week. And say, I'm back next week, and here's my roses and thorns for this week. The screens are blinking out. And
Yeah,
it
it's
freaked me out
Adam's.
there.
Adam's
I
like
lost,
video is reconnecting, so it's kind of like
and
you know.
mine's popping up and out. And
I'm gonna go ahead and give a thorn to Skype once again for acting weird. And
well, then
fucking
you'd have
things
to
up
give
a little bit.
yourself a thorn for that as well, Mike, because you're the one that said we're leaving Skype. Next week we will not
Yeah.
be on Skype, and you were a little hardball about it. And I wouldn't call you out if you weren't like, I'm all hardball right now, and I'm making stances, and you guys feel free to call me out later if I don't hold up to this. And that's the only reason, Mike, that I would ever say.
All right, I'm willing to. I'll take that thorn because I did say. Wait a minute, how the hell am I in Adam's box now? What the hell's going on?
I think he hung up now. No, I think he did hang up.
Did he?
Because I don't understand where he is either.
Oh, that's so
hilarious.
weird. It's
It is
so
weird.
weird. Why
I give
did
you a
it do
roast
that?
for being so awesome that you get 2 boxes in the show.
I guess so. I think they're both slightly different angles, right? Yep. They're both
Oh, that's
one of my
great.
2 cameras.
Oh, that's great. We
Which
should
one
put
do I look
slightly-
better in? Which
we need
one
to
do I
put
look
one slightly
thinner
to
in?
the right so that you can go like this. And then you can go, "Hi there, I'm Mike. And I've got something to say." Oh, yeah? Well, here's something else.
Just like the story, I'm becoming everyone, is what Mark says.
Yeah, no, very much so.
There you
And
go.
the more angles you have, the more it looks like there's movement in the show and there's points of view, and it's all one shoot. Oh, shoot. I should have me a camera. Oh, dang! You gotta look at the camera, though. You gotta look at the camera for it to work.
I know. I just missed it when I whipped back.
You came back to the wrong spot.
You ready?
All right, Mike. So, how do you feel about what you today?
The problem is
Look at
I
the
don't get to
comments.
enjoy
Look at
it.
the
I don't
comments.
really get to enjoy my own face when I do the whip pan with my head.
Well, that's where it should be when you read comments. Look over the comments and read some. Oh no! It's so aggressive. I love it.
Of course you do.
I need my own reaction box too.
Yeah,
I
you
know.
really. You know what, Dustin? Get
Look,
another
guys.
camera. Get another camera, and I will get you a reaction box if you
Because
want.
look, there's spaces right here. There's the spaces.
No one else can
and right,
see that. No one
But
else
no,
can see
right
it.
here. See where my finger is?
Yeah.
On the screen.
Yeah.
Right here's the space for my
Yeah.
reaction.
Oh no, for sure.
And then
I
if
can put it
put
on
my
the
finger in,
screen.
You can
You
put
just-
one right there for you, and we could
You
even
need
do
to get
one
another
for me.
camera though. Yeah.
I've got one. We'll get this going. If this is a
Okay.
thing we could do, because it would help editing the show, it'd be
Reaction
hilarious.
cam.
Oh my gosh! Anytime you have reactions, go.
Well, Adam says that his internet shit the bed, so he's out for for Roses and Thorns. So I'm going to give a thorn to Adam's internet as well as Skype. I'm giving them that thorn. I'm going to give a thorn to the sheriff deputy of Luna Pier, Michigan, for having a noose as one of his profile pics and being a racist, homophobic idiot.
Yeah. And what was that? He's a sheriff of where again? Or deputy
Luna Pier, Michigan. He's a sheriff's deputy. At least that's what he says on his Facebook profile. And I
So
personally
our
found
Luna
him a very disgusting piece of work.
Why don't you look over at your camera and say, "So wake up"? Up here.
Well, I have to like mount this over here or something.
It's got to be somewhere where then you can, after you finish it, you tag it with, "And that's Mike's POV, and that's what I gotta say, and that's my 3 cents." Something.
And that's
So
my
take
3
that.
cents.
So take that, Rose.
Thanks, Adam, for noticing that I take it in the ass daily, according to what's his name, old Don.
It's a little like Alec Baldwin's head pivot in 30 Rock, is what Mark says. It's
It's
brilliant.
kind of like that, yeah. I mean,
Oh,
now
yeah?
they can 3D model me for in the future after I'm long dead. They can use this show to 3D model me and be accurate with my body and head.
See, you might laugh. Look at me in the other camera. You might laugh, Mike, but I have something to say to that guy right there.
Look
Listen,
at me
Mike.
in the other camera.
So listen, Mike, I have something to say because what were you just saying? Because I had something to say about that.
I don't know. I'm not supposed to be
Oh.
keeping track of everything that you...
Thank you.
Yes.
What I was trying to say is, you might laugh at that, but one reason I started this show, and I've started
was
so
to
many
was to
different
capture data from me so that you could build me in the future when I'm dead.
Well, so that I could build, there could be a better and richer version of myself.
Oh, for you, I see. That makes
yeah.
sense. That makes much more sense.
And my offspring, imagine great. I'm the great grandchild of Ben Franklin. So if
Yeah.
I could look back, watch his life, and be like, "Oh, look at you, Grandpa! Oh, look at
So,
you, great."
so the conversation could go like, well, fortunately, William Gardner, your great grandfather Dustin had a web series that never took off. And we've
yeah,
captured
20
all of the data from it, and we're able to recreate him. Unfortunately, we don't really see a point.
But that's why I've written the albums, bro. See, I've got all of it. I've got
Yeah.
different sides of the
That's
angle.
true.
I got different points of view for the emotional
You
context.
are the
That's-
egg, man. You are the egg.
Yep. Don't think Dustin Wayne Superstar's comment augmented music isn't going to get me there too, Bob, because that's just stream of consciousness. That just lets them know the algorithm's a little more thicker over here.
Any other? Oh, you know what? I wanted to give you a rose today, Dustin, because
ahead.
I would say that you were a little bit more focused today than normal, I think. Either that or maybe I was just ignoring you better. I'm not sure which one it was. Either you were staying on track better or I was just ignoring your insanity a little bit better. I'm not sure.
I get white noisy at a certain point, and that's the mic. I'm not sure, Cam.
Really?
No, I think maybe you're not being as judgmental, which I give you a rose for. I think maybe that you're just being a little more like, hey, Dustin's a regular guy, and I'm not like all right. Judge Judy up in here today.
Thank you for the passive-aggressive roses.
You're so welcome, bud. I got passive-aggressive roses for you for days.
Oh, I know you do. Any other thorns, roses, anything?
I mean, a thorn to our political system and the denial of the RNC week. What a weird alternate
Adam's
universe.
comment's pretty great.
Go ahead. When we reconstruct your great grandfather's consciousness, he immediately had a meltdown and accused us of not doing enough of it. Wow.
Yep. Accurate.
Well,
historically accurate.
Sounds like you've got some issues that you're dealing with, Adam. I mean, Captain McGettigan.
Bee pirate of the high seas.
Bee pirates. Not the 8 ones.
Hey, that's it for today's show. As always.
What?
What? What do you mean, what?
As always, we would like to say we love you, America. And we know that you're having some growing pains right now.
I mean...
But together, we can all be pirates of the future.
Be pirates of the future? But pirates of the future?
I don't know.
Thanks, Kurt. Thank you,
what
Kurt.
Great show. Great viewership.
Yeah, great viewership. Great engagement.
Great engagement. Great engagement of the mighty.
I want Dustin to get rich in the ass daily.
Oh my God. Thank you, Adam. Thanks.
Hey,
Adam.
everybody, let's do that thing that we always do. On 3, we're all going to say it together. I want Dustin to get rich. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I want Dustin to get rich. See, Dustin, you're undermining your own potential by not committing to that bit.
I mean, committing to the bit that is trolling me? Is that the bit you're talking about?
I mean,
talking about
it is honestly not. It's not trolling you.
We're manifesting then.
Yeah. Why not?
Because that's not the first thing you said. Because you said, why not? That's why.
Because why not? It doesn't matter. It's about your own interpretation of it. But as long as you're committing to it, you're the one that it's about. But right now, every time we do it, I feel like you're refusing it.
No, believe me, I could use the money.
Then you need to buy into the bit.
Oh my God! The fact that you're calling it a bit, that alone, you should call it a manifestation.
It's a bit of the show.
It sure is. It's a hilarious bit.
Anyways,
I get bits.
Hey, that's it for today's show. That's it for today's show.
You're
out of time.
I'm manifesting my time.
I'm going to go back to trolling idiots on Facebook. Dustin's going to go back to talking at night and getting yelled at by Jill. Adam is probably doing something fun and cool somewhere.
Love that. Jill.
Thank you, Rollo, you beautiful bastard. Hey, we'll see you guys. See you guys next time.
I got an ass load of richness. For you, baby. I got it.
There you go. That's a great song to sing as going out. Dustin, you're a comedy personality. Did you know that you're a comedy personality?
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're a comedy personality.
Oh my God.
Pass me the lotion. You know what we could actually, if someone could give us some drawings that we like, as long as they can do different mouths, I can do Adobe stuff, Adobe Animator stuff. It's pretty easy.
So you're saying all I got to do is make some animation?
Yeah, you're a good drawer.